I mean, I watched the process in America, have over years. I worked there for a couple of years, but have been particularly struck watching Obama, who came to office in America with such authority and with such promise and with such expectation, and then to watch this thing called health policy that they've been trying and failing to reform in America for many, many decades, and to watch that being whittled and whittled and whittled, it's almost like watching his soul being destroyed before your eyes.
Well, the fact is, I think Obama had the chance to change the American, he had a chance to smash American radical conservatism with a massive mandate, control of 2 chambers of the American Congress, but he let them have the ideology and said, "Can I have health?" To which they said no. They were always going to say no. So the truth is, he should have had the sword out from day one. And you know, okay, it's blood and guts, but that's the game we're in. And he did, but it's not the game. It's the game I'm in, but it's not the game Obama is in. He wants to send all the customers away satisfied. I mean, I'll go back to Lang. He was such a formal fellow, Jack, when I used to see him. He used to always call me Mr. Keating. I was only 18, you know. Of course, I'd always call him Mr. He said, "Mr. Keating, you'll never be anybody until you have a decent stock of enemies." And it's true. It's actually true. But see, some people cannot live with the notion that a large proportion of the country don't like them or want to destroy them. I think this is Barack Obama's problem. He wants to have them like him. Well, movement conservatism has basically destroyed the American social compact, you know. The social compact was largely Roosevelt created, which was stuck to by Truman, then by the Republican, Dwight Eisenhower, and of course then Kennedy and Johnson, and then Nixon, another Republican, really came to grief with Ronald Reagan when the Conservatives overtook the public bureaucracy of Reagan and then carried it through the Republican Party thereafter. Now they're at the point they won't even agree to tax increases. You know, they're so ideological. So the idea that the American Social Compact was about the productivity of America was shared between wages and profits, and people's living standards all went up, but there was essentially a compression where the income of the people at the very top was 5 or 6 or 8 times those at the bottom. You know, now it's thousands of times. And for instance, in America, there's been no increase in real wages since 1990. In Australia, under the wages system I set up, enterprise bargaining, we've had a 36% real increase in wages. 36% real, above inflation. They've had the same. So what this means is that none of the productivity of America, none, went to wages. But this is scandalous. If you're a Democrat, if you're him, you say, our number one priority is to re-establish the equity and justice of American life. That's number one. Instead of that, he goes chasing after health. He lets them have the ideology. He doesn't fight them on the main game. And in the end, the Congress just ragged over it and cut it to ribbons. And then, of course, they said, well, you don't seem to stand for much. And they made a lot of that stick, including the financial collapse in 2008, which had nothing to do with him. And he lost his majority in the Congress with the mid-congressional elections. So once you've lost your power, you lost your moral authority, you've lost your power. So it doesn't matter now how successful an orator he is, they think when it comes to the big fights, he won't have them. You know, and in the end, I used to often say this in the cabinet room, you have to have the fights. We don't want to have the fights, but you have to have the fights.